There's no place like home. There's no place.
Home. Our house is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Now everything is easy 'cause of you.
Well, hi there. You're listening to Home Wizards, where we love to help improve your home and improve your life.
Hey, I'm Eric Stroman.
And I'm Cindy Dole, and we are having so much fun. I hope you are too, as we are walking you with us. You're right here with us at the most beautiful and the biggest and best home tour that they have in the country. It takes place every year in Pasadena, not far from where you see the Rose Parade. Physically, it's La Cañada this year, and it's right at the base of the San Gabriel Mountains with a beautiful view of the Angeles Forest, and we are sitting in what's called the Andalusian Courtyard, surrounded by great seating and beautiful plantings, and this is a Spanish 1920s home. I mean, this is gorgeous California architecture.
Yeah, this is California living at its finest, isn't it?
It really is.
I think this is what everyone meant when they say,
let's live in
let's
California.
live here,
Let's go.
you know?
Let's have an orange tree or a lemon tree. And
Yep.
in fact, there are a couple over there in containers.
Yep.
But so when you go to our website, yourhomewizards.com, we're going to have, well, we do have many of the pictures up already, and we have more on our Facebook page. But take that journey, at the very least, online, because you're going to get ideas for color, for furnishings, for plants. And with us is a guy who had not only a little section of a room, but he built basically an entire house. It's called the Casita.
Right.
And it's basically the guest house. Mark Cutler did it. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, Mark.
And
hey, g'day.
So, good day. How would you describe a casita? That's basically living quarters.
It's really sort of we designed it as a place where relatives may come and stay for a short period of time. So it really gave us
They're
a little
not
bit more
leaving
freedom.
with this. They're not coming. This is
yeah,
not
you have to be careful because you don't know my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
She will not leave this space.
You want it pretty enough,
Yeah,
but not so
that's
great, right?
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So you chose to have this casita to be your space.
We did because I like the challenge. It's the living space particularly. It's a living room, 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, and the living space particularly was a very, very small space. And I really wanted to show people how you could take a very small space and create a lot of activities in there.
You know, you're right.
We had almost 10 people sitting in this room the other day, and it felt really, really comfortable.
Cozy.
And you know, and for apartment dwellers or townhome livers,
There's
this
hope.
is a perfect example.
What
It's
is-
kind
what
of
is
a
the
textbook example.
What is the
of small
footage of
space.
it?
The square footage of this room is only about 300 square feet.
Yeah.
So it's pretty small.
Feels
But we still
bigger.
had room for a kitchen, an entry, a dining area, and a sitting area. And we really just sort of zoned it up so it made sense. And
isn't it interesting how sometimes smaller spaces feel better than bigger ones? I mean, we keep thinking that we want bigger, but less is more, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And one of the things we did, as you walk into the space, you really sort of look from the living room through the bedroom to the final bedroom. And so we painted the floors blue in all 3 spaces
You
to
painted
link
the
them
floors
all, but then took a different direction with each room. So in the main room, we went with these bright greens and yellows. In the bedroom, with more sort of pinks. And then in the last bedroom, sort of more earth tones. But the blue kind of holds all 3 rooms together.
Now, what shade of blue would you call that?
It's sort of a dirty turquoise, I think.
And then, I mean, this is kind of like a crayon box because you've got an orange door. Hello, reflections
By
of
the
my
way,
old kitchen.
by the way, I love this door.
Describe the store.
It's
What
an
is it?
overmount track. Go ahead.
Yeah,
tell them.
it's an old barn door.
Yeah, you can say it like a barn door.
The challenge of this space
and it
was
slides on that track?
Exactly. The guest house was built in about 1996, I think.
That's cool.
So much later than the rest of the house. So one of the things we tried to do was really sort of create a lot of detail that would be true to the original house. So we rebuilt the kitchen, we rebuilt the cabinetry, and then in the final bedroom did a board and batten wall, and just sort of gave enough sort of indication that you made it feel as though it was really sort of part and parcel.
And you know what I love about this too? When it opens up, it makes the space feel like one unified space. It's almost like a sliding wall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's great.
Yeah.
It has kind of a mod look to it as well. And here we have a 1920s home, but you've taken some risks with some funk. It's kind of funky.
We did, and I think that one of the things about doing a period house is you don't want to make it necessarily an historical study. You want to make it like it started out at this house, and you've built this collection up over a period of time. So we've got some antique pieces
that
in
you've
here.
lived, right?
Exactly, and it gives it a sense of authenticity and a sense that real people live here.
Right. You're right. Because it does. There does sometimes have a tendency to go toward making it feel like a museum. It's like
Exactly.
it's like a set piece, a piece out of time. But
Too
this does-
matchy-matchy in a way.
exactly, yeah,
Exactly.
And so the lesson here is to not be afraid to live in your space.
Absolutely.
And to take some
absolutely.
risks. And if we wanted to have some fun with color, I mean, you painted the floor. What is the material of the floor?
It's actually a hardwood wood floor underneath, but it was sort of a reddy mahogany color that we didn't really like, and so rather than just pull the floor out, we just thought we'd just paint over it.
Would you ever paint mahogany floor?
If it looked like that at the end, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I love
think
it actually.
a lot of people might be a little afraid of
Yeah.
painting a wood floor.
The great thing, it's just paint. If you make
Right.
a mistake, it's easy. You just sand it off, and you're back to the mahogany.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it really gives you a lot of freedom. And the great thing is, if it gets damaged with pets or whatever, you just keep a can in the closet, and you just do a roller every Saturday morning, and it looks fresh and new every day.
And the kitchen, which is very small, I mean, gosh, it makes you think all you have is an apartment or a condo. That's
Exactly.
normal. It looks like the countertop is red. What is that?
The countertop is actually cast concrete. And so it has an integrated sink in it. So it has sort of an old world sort of feel, but with just that splash of tomato red kind of just jazzes it up a little bit.
With the soup cans.
That's
in
our soup
view.
kitchen.
It's an homage to Andy Warhol.
Describe what you
Exactly.
have.
Yeah.
You have basically in this cupboard. It's an open screen of some kind.
Yeah, it has
so
that
you
chicken
can,
wire
Yeah.
in the front.
And you have positioned all these red and white Campbell's cans.
Exactly, and it was just sort of a fun
To
thing.
look arty.
One of the goals of this space was really to have people come in and smile.
Yeah.
And having sort of whimsical gestures like that, I think, really kind of helped contribute to that.
And the beds are very small too. I mean, we always think of bedrooms having like a supersized jumbo.
In the first bedroom is a queen size bed, and then we have two twin size
Yeah.
beds in the main room, in the second room, and in the middle between them is this great wrought iron and glass screen that really sort of holds your view as you enter the space, and it's by a local California artist, Philip Nimmo.
You know, it's a great case study on a small space.
Yeah.
And what you can do. I like the idea of the whimsy. It's more. It just feels like it has energy.
It
doesn't
does. It feels very youthful, exactly.
yeah.
And so give us some ideas if we wanted to incorporate some of our fun collections in our home and we don't have much space. Because on our show, we often talk about how we get overrun with too much collection.
Sure,
you know,
exactly.
we're not clutter
Exactly.
we're not clutter freaks, we're collectors.
Containment is the key. Limit them to smaller spaces
Yeah.
rather than have them just scattered everywhere. Either limit them
And a
to
theme,
a
too,
closet
huh?
or a cabinet, exactly, and really sort of create groupings, and that way they sort of make sense and they read better as a collection rather than just sort of this
Hodgepodge
yeah, exactly.
deal.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've heard hoarders say they're collectors.
I know.
Just as a
Spin.
justification and
Exactly.
spin on what
Exactly.
their disorder
I'm a
is.
collector.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
But you edited your stuff nicely
Thank
here.
you. Thank you very much.
And then some of the other seating choices that you've made. Talk about that. I mean, I see a leather chair. You've used a bunch of different fabrics and materials.
And one of the goals here was to really furnish it like you would with a guest house, where the budget really would be pretty tight. So we have pieces that are from CB2, West Elm, Restoration Hardware, and so it really sort of has an authentic kind of quality to it that this would be the way if we were hired by someone to do a guest house, those are the sort of pieces that we would use. And I think that putting them together in sort of fun ways, there's an old chair that came from my house, and we bought an old Pendleton blanket and reupholstered the back, and it gives it a fresh new look.
Right.
And so things like that, sort of reimagining sort of pieces that you have around, can really give it a
This
fresh
is
and fun.
It's very affordable.
And something
Absolutely.
we can't
Yeah.
ignore
Yeah.
that I'm not sure if you walked into the casita yet, Eric. You'll have to walk over there in a minute. But the TV display
Yes.
is one of the aha moments. Talk about how you have it sitting on an artist's easel.
Yeah, we have it on an artist's easel. And the great thing with TVs now, I think, with the flat screen TV is sort of harken the end of the armoire industry. And that
Yeah.
now it's sort of
That's true.
gives you a
Good
lot
point.
more freedom and have it open. And it's sort of an art piece in and of itself. So we
Right.
had it mounted on this easel so it can move it around. And that's one of the keys of having a small space is flexibility so that we can direct it towards the banquet seating or we can direct it towards the bedroom and really gives you a lot of freedom.
It's a great idea.
Mark, your website is markcutlerdesign.com.
That's
Mark
right.
with a K.
Yes, Mark with a K, Cutler with a C.
Are you up to anything else going on? Any other projects? And
We have a couple of projects going on at the moment. We have a couple of things up in Northern California, New York, Kentucky, and in Colorado as well. So we're spend a lot of time on a
staying
plane
busy.
these days.
All
Great.
right. Well, Mark, thank you for giving us some playful ideas in the casita, and we'll have these pictures on our website
Great.
as well.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thanks, Mark.
well, coming up next, we're going to go to the gentleman's study.
I was in the gentleman's study, and I felt like bringing out a meerschaum pipe
I was going to say.
and just petting a big dog.
We're going to get some ideas because that guy is very well dressed and he knows how to collect books and display them in a beautiful way, right?
Yes.
It's coming up next.
Can't wait.
Home Wizards. And by the way, be sure to check out DoneEdwards.com because you're going to get some great ideas for your paint color palette. The fun continues. Home Wizards at the Pasadena Showcase House. Eric Stromer and Cindy Dole. So how much does it cost to remodel a home? $10,000, $50,000? Actually, the most dramatic, wouldn't you agree, and least expensive way is to basically get some great color.
That's a can of paint.
It's a can of paint, and that's why Dunn Edwards has created the perfect palette collection with 1,696 paint colors from dreamy blue to striking red, and we have friendly people in every Dunn Edwards store that'll be happy to answer your questions, like what's the right finish, how do you choose the perfect color. So all you do is you go to DoneEdwards.com, and by the way, they have been the exclusive paint supplier to the Pasadena Showcase House for more than 45 years. So come into Dunn Edwards, your neighborhood paint store, and through August 31st, with your Showcase bookmark coupon, you're going to get one free 8-ounce perfect palette sampler. Please visit DoneEdwards.com, DoneEdwards.com.
Guest, be our guest, put our service to the test. Tie your napkin round your neck, Sherry, and we provide the rest.
Welcome back. You're listening to Home Wizards, Cindy Dole, Eric Stromer, where we love to help improve your home and improve your life. And guest rooms. Guest bedrooms. We were talking about a guest house, but what about just a guest room?
You know, it's a tricky room, isn't it?
It can be tricky. It can become that room that becomes a junk room if you aren't careful.
It can become the room where the people never leave.
Where they never leave, or the stuff just kind of hides.
Yeah. How do you do it, I wonder?
I don't know. Well, let's talk with someone who knows. Copper Geyer is a designer who worked on one of the guest bedrooms here at the Pasadena Showcase House, this stunning 1920s home that really is giving us all kinds of ideas and inspiration. So, Copper, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Cindy.
This is a very, very pretty room. It looks like the walls are a light shade of a turquoise aqua blue. Would you call it that?
That's correct.
Yeah.
It is. It's Dunn Edwards Aspen Hush.
Aspen Hush.
Hold on. Shh. Okay. All right, there it is.
What was the room like before when you first walked into the guest bedroom? Was it a guest bedroom at the time?
It was. It was being used as a bedroom. I'm not sure if it was a guest bedroom at the time. It was an entire wall of built-in cabinets and a queen-size bed. This room is 10 by 12.
So it's small.
Oh, really small. And this was like a bad hotel room in Europe. You kind of had to stand on the bed to open the door. There was no room, not even for a nightstand.
Uh-huh. And you have a day bed, it looks like.
I did. I removed a center section of the cabinets and created a custom day bed with a trundle using the existing outer portions of the cabinets as nightstands. And it has a built-in feeling. And this is a twin-size day bed that has a trundle it pulls out. It can convert to a king or be used as two twins.
Really?
Yeah, so this feels like it can either be an office space,
Sure.
it can be a guest bedroom, it can be a multitude of different rooms and spaces.
Uh-huh.
Is that kind of what you're going for?
Exactly. This is in the children's wing, and there are two rooms for the children, a girl and a boy on either side, and their rooms are equally as small. So I envision this kind of when there aren't guests there as a lounge for the children. They're sort of preteen heading into their teen years. And when there are guests there, you can sleep two adults or two single people.
It feels very fresh, and it looks like you have a mirror of some kind that's behind the bed, yeah?
I did. I used mirrors. You have to be careful when you use mirrors in your home to enlarge the space.
And why is that?
You can get that sort of 1980s condo feeling with the mirrored wall, and that's what I was very careful to avoid. I created a running bond pattern with the mirrors, and they're beveled. And then I hung art atop the mirrors, and their sconces actually mounted to the mirrors. So it visually doubles the space, but you avoid that
flat, cheesy.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm going to my dealer's house.
You mean you want me to come and see your artwork?
Yeah. No, it's amazing. I love the running bond aspect on that mirror, and then the secret to that is the bevel, so you do see the different lines around the mirrors. That's a great idea.
So did you buy the mirror already beveled, or how could we duplicate this?
call me. It was a lot of work, a lot of CAD work. I had a very fantastic Finnish carpenter, and you could use mirror tiles. I believe if you'd like to do it yourself, there is sort of a hexagonal mirror tile that's available at IKEA, but this is very custom, very high end. I'm not sure this would be a do-it-yourself project, but they do have similar things at IKEA.
But what a great tip.
And so what do you, when you're designing a guest room, what are the parameters in your mind? What are you looking to do? It's a multiple use space, obviously, right?
Right, and this is one of the things is the listeners with a space that maybe they use as a home office that also doubles as a guest room. You want to make it comfortable for both you and the guest. And number one, get rid of clutter.
Yeah.
That.
Easier said than done.
Was it kind of cluttered before? Did it have a lot of stuff in it?
It did have a lot of stuff. And this has a lot of built-in bookshelves, which allows for space for you to keep your things and to stay organized. But you want to leave room for your guest on the nightstands. Keep the nightstands free and clear. Keep lighting for them. And then you want to create a comfortable space for your guest to sleep. So, a nice mattress, use nice linens.
But I love the daybed idea because now it can become, if it's your office, it can be a business meeting couch,
so is this
area.
The kind where the mattress comes out and it's a full-size bed inside?
Exactly. Well, it's a twin-size mattress on top, and then it's almost like a drawer below. So you pull it out, and then the mattress pops up.
It's not but it's not the folded mattress that comes out where it feels like the springs are coming through.
No, these are actual real mattresses.
God,
They're from Custom Comfort.
Great.
They're really great, custom local company.
And the ceiling, it looks like you have, is it metallic? What is the color you have on your ceiling?
The ceiling is actually really interesting. It's a cork wall covering from Innovations, and it adds a lot of texture. The ceiling is not quite 8 feet, so I wanted to do something interesting. And that's another thing listeners could do in their guest room is to apply something interesting to the ceiling.
A texture to the ceiling.
Exactly. It's the first thing your guests see when they go to sleep and the first thing
Sure.
when they wake up. So it's 30% of your field of vision, and don't forget that.
That's a really
at the very least, add
great
color.
point, isn't it?
That's a great tip.
You never.
That's the
think
first
about
thing you see when you wake up. You're looking up at the ceiling, right?
So
you don't want mirrors on the ceiling. I don't think.
I don't know if I'd recommend that for your guest room.
Well, in Eric's room, maybe.
Yeah, it depends.
Depends who you're looking at, I guess.
That's right.
But the aqua color, talk about how you've mixed not only this beautiful, very soft, it looks like the Aegean Sea or some beautiful, Bahamas kind of a quality of water, but you've brought in a splash of this very bright pink. And this is from... It's Southeast Asia. This little
yes.
Talk about that. It's a textile.
It is. It's an antique textile. The day I got the call to do the room in the showcase, I was actually bags in hand heading to the airport to fly out to Istanbul, and so I knew I could shop with a purpose. And I fell in love with this antique Suzani, and I used that as my inspiration for the room. And this actually is the color palette. The Pasadena Showcase House and Dunn Edwards give us a color palette to work with. And I found this piece, and I thought this is just perfect. And I decided to incorporate it in my design.
So you're the second person now in a matter of weeks, designer, to tell us to start with something that you would think would be the last thing that you would add, an accessory, but that became your foundation, and that was for you.
But you're the first.
Textile.
But you're the first designer we've ever had who said, "Well, I was on my way to
Istanbul,
and I just decided."
Little name dropper. So how was the shopping in Istanbul?
Yeah, what were you doing there?
Beyond fabulous. Shopping, and more shopping. If you ask my husband, that's all we did.
She was spying, I think.
So are you going there to find inspiration because you just love the
How
look
could
of
you
the
not?
stuff?
I mean, it's just
beautiful.
it's so culturally rich. The tile, the
and
textiles,
the water.
and the water.
Oh, see, that's why
the
you were inspired
architecture.
by that color for the walls, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, it's a wonderful place to visit. There's a direct flight now from LA, and makes it a lot easier. And I can't recommend it enough.
Let's go.
I'm there. I'm going today, as a matter of fact. How strange. Yeah.
Well, so there's so many lessons in this very teeny tiny space. Talk about here these little, what do you call these garden stools that you have used as little mini side tables?
Yes, these are very small drum tables, and they are octagonal in shape, about 18 inches high. They're light, easy to move, and I've used them in front of the daybed as a coffee table. So you can use it to put your feet up or to set a cup of tea down. But they're also very light and easy to be moved. These are from a company out of Berkeley. It's a California company called Ironies. They have really spectacular finishes, and they're very high-end.
Awesome. What is your website?
It's coppergeierdesign.com.
And not a single piece of copper in this room, I'm not saying.
No, I went big on the brass.
Okay. But again, the color of that aqua blue paint is called again?
Aspen Hush.
Aspen Hush. You can find it at DunEdwards.com, we should point out, because they did all the paint in this house. I love that beautiful color.
Room. And I'm really excited about this bed because I've always been afraid of them. But now to know you can have traditional mattresses makes all the difference.
Yeah, you're not going to feel.
Love it.
You're not going to feel the springs underneath your back. No.
No.
All right. Well, as we continue our journey through this beautiful house that is just really a case study of what you can do with color and small rooms.
It'll make you covet.
It'll make you covet,
Yeah.
but you don't have to, because you can go to our website, yourhomewizards.com, and you can see the pictures, and also on our Facebook page where we have all the different ins and outs of what they've done in this house.
And then Copper, did you get one of those hats in Istanbul that
Oh.
we could put on and walk around in?
A fez?
Little fez hat.
Somehow we escaped without them. We'll have to go
See?
back. We will
gotta
have
go
to go back.
Yeah, I know. Very romantic. All right. Well, the fun continues. Home Wizards, as we love to help improve your home and improve your life. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole. We're back in a flash.
Thanks, Copper.
So about the roses in your garden, I know roses kind of get this bad rap of, well, they seem like they're complicated and fussy and so forth, but they really don't have to be. And that's if you use this product called Bayer Advanced. They have the Rose Care, 3-in-1 rose and flower care that really makes you a genius. And I think I've convinced my buddy Eric to get it. You got it, didn't you?
Well, you showed me yours this morning, and they're green and healthy and beautiful. Unlike
Not the rose, the leaves are green.
That's right. Unlike my wilted, brown, dying roses. They're bad.
They need a little oomph. But, you know, the solution is really as easy as a Bayer Advanced product. It comes in granules. It also comes in a liquid. You feed it your roses. It protects against disease. It keeps the bugs away. And it really gives you these gorgeous blooms that are larger and prettier than life.
Larger than life.
Larger than life.
Yeah.
Like Tournament of Roses. So check it out. It's in that blue bottle at all your hardware stores and garden centers. Bayer Advanced. Better science, better results. In the blue bottle, BayerAdvanced.com.
Très cool et très chic. Supersonic.
Welcome back, Home Wizards, where we love to improve your home, improve your life, and just say things.
We like saying things, don't we? So much.
And making friends.
Yeah, that's right.
And just
learning about fantastic
learning
design, man.
inside and outside.
So
And so
great.
a great way to do it when you are out and about throughout your week, throughout your weekend, is to not just look at your place and go, gosh, my place isn't great, but to go to other people's places and say, gosh, I can do that too. And that's what we're trying to guide you to do.
Yeah, we actually love the idea of talking to some of these great designers because you get tips on how to do this on your own and not have to freak out and be overwhelmed.
And you don't have to go to Istanbul. I mean, who wouldn't
No.
want to go? I wouldn't mind going.
No, I'm
like
going.
our previous designer who
Yeah.
got inspired. But with us is another designer who had some amazing vision in what's called the Writer's Retreat. What is that? We're going to find out as part of this home that is on tour in Southern California and is a great case study. Whether you can go here or not, the idea is you can visualize colors and neat things to do to your space. So Goli Karimi is with us, and she put together what's called the Writer's Retreat. So welcome, Goli.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and so you worked with the Cynthia Bennett design team.
Yes.
What is a writer's retreat, first of all? Because most of us don't have a writer's retreat in our home.
I know we're not that lucky, but this lovely house had this beautiful room, and the view from that room is just the treetops. All you see is trees, and
Yeah.
it felt like a treehouse, and that was our inspiration. And we wanted to bring the view inside and continue with that theme.
Oh, yes. Well, speaking of which, the wall, it looks like trees are coming into the house.
Yeah, that fireplace
What is
surround.
that?
That's
That was the
beautiful.
fireplace surround. We completely changed it. This was an unfinished room, so we had a little bit more freedom to make more changes. and it's a place for the writer to get away.
But what is that wall that looks like the
That
tree?
is plaster. We framed it up, and with plaster did those three-dimensional
trees.
Boy, that is
it's
beautiful.
just tree branches, and it
Oh.
looks like you're looking beyond window frames. That's what those frames are.
So it mimics
And
the outdoors.
It continues the outdoors
and it's
into the
cream.
room.
It's a cream color.
It's all cream. It's just plaster with no color pigmentation. It's just plaster.
Did you put any kind of a finish on that at all?
It was just sanded smooth with
That's it.
many layers of plaster.
Wow.
And it looks so smooth, doesn't it?
It
looks
is
like
very
like it would be
smooth.
soft to touch almost. Like,
Right.
do people want to go and touch it when they're going
And
through?
people do,
Yeah.
and it's okay to do that,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But that image was basically built up with other material and then plaster applied, many layers, and
Ah.
sanded smooth, and additional layers applied. And it really is one of our focal points in the room.
I think that Eric is getting ideas. See, the thing is, with these shows, the next week he starts doing it to his
Yeah,
home.
this is what's going to happen.
This is getting dangerous.
And now I'm going. By the way, I walked in here and I started to pen my own memoir. That's how excited I was about it.
It's
This
a
is getting
fabulous
dangerous.
place
Yeah.
to be in. And where we put the desk, actually, it kind of anchors the room. And you have the great view of the outdoors and the fireplace, and you have like in command of the whole space. And that desk is another wonderful
Yeah, talk
piece
about the
of-
desk. What is that?
It's a piece of redwood slab from a fallen tree, and the tree must have been hundreds of years
Really?
old. And
Like the redwood forest?
Redwood forest.
Really?
It must have been 20 feet in diameter. It's part of a slab of a fallen tree.
So we'll talk about sustainability.
Yes,
And
and
repurposing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, you know, I have a table like this in my home. It's a coffee table, and it's great. They find these reclaimed trees, so you're not cutting anything down.
Exactly.
And you're repurposing it to create this beautiful decoration.
Yes. And the base for it was custom made for that piece of slab
Right.
for our project.
This is a perfect case study for a great office, in my opinion. You know, it feels open and airy. There's a lot of great creativity in it,
Very
but it doesn't
light.
distract you and
Yeah,
feel like
right.
you're going to be taken away from what you're trying to do
Yeah,
as a
our
task.
color
That's
scheme was
true.
basically
So,
neutrals,
good
not
for-
to distract.
This
it was
is good for creativity, right? Creative thinking.
Yes, it was really all neutrals. We have just a touch of blue and coral as accent, but for the most part, all the furniture is cream. And the focus was really outdoors and making this a serene environment for the writer to get inspired.
And then in terms of color, where did you decide? You just went neutral, obviously, and I love the color of the drapes. That's almost like butter color, isn't it?
It's cream and butter stripes. We have a little bit of blue and coral in the pillows on the sofa. And there's also a little kitchenette in the space. There was a closet that we took out and opened it up to the main room and added a bar sink and a beverage center.
Oh.
And the countertop there, we used ice stone,
So
which is out of
that's-
recycled glass.
That's for
and
the
that
writers.
is-
That's for the writers' blog.
Well, yeah, you
is
know, a
what
lot of
I-
these great writers,
I
they
know,
like the liquor a little
I
bit.
knew
don't
that's
they?
what I knew.
Yeah.
That's where you were going.
Yeah.
Yes, we have wine racks as well as a cappuccino machine. So
You know
whatever
what?
tickles your
I'm
fancy.
not going to write today. I'm just going to drink this fine bottle of Chianti.
And look out the window.
That's
right.
right.
Now,
Yeah.
a lot of the designers we've talked with had other ways of coming up with their palette. For our previous designer, it was a trip to Istanbul and finding this great piece of textile and vibrant colors. For your team, what was it? What did you start with the pillow? Did you start with the plastered tree wall? What was your vision?
Well, it really was the outdoors
The
and
outdoors.
trying to have a serene and calm environment, not to distract and just let the imagination of the writer just continue. And the colors, we just found like the ice stone countertop, which is a coral color, was very exciting. It was a nice contrast to the creams, and that's where the coral accent came in. We have a beautiful piece of art. We have a mirrored wall which reflects the trees from the window, and on top of that we have a very large piece of art which has some blues and corals and the butter yellow that you mentioned in it. So that's where the kind of the blue came in, but just a touch, not much. When you go in the room, it's really a very calm environment, and people that have gone through it comment how relaxed relaxing that space
And is there storage here in the room?
Yes, actually there were 4 arched niches, plaster niches that were already there with some shelves. We took out some of the shelves down below and did base cabinets, which you see in this photograph here. We put some drawers and some shelving to give additional storage because we took out a closet to do that bar and kitchenette area. We felt that this room needed some storage, so that's how we provided additional storage.
Right.
And we kind of pulled it away from the wall, gave it decorative legs to make it look like pieces of furniture.
Great.
At first glance, you may not even realize they're built-ins, but they are. And then there's a powder room next to this room that we also completely changed. And the wall, we have a beautiful textured cream-colored tile down below, and above it, it's a collage of pages from old books and maps that's glued on canvas with a whitewash over it with quotes from different
I saw
writers
some of that
and
process.
artists.
It was a very intense process. The guy that was installing that, many weeks ago, it has little messages, right? What are some? Well, it's actual paragraphs and
They
quotes.
are quotes from different writers and artists, and there is one from Leonardo da Vinci that we wrote backwards, so in the mirror you can read it. It says,
that's how
"Art is
he
never finished,
and
only
that's how
abandoned."
he communicated. He wrote backwards. He did the mirror writing. That's very smart.
And don't you also have some kind of an electronic vision wall?
We do have an electronic inspiration wall, right, which is basically a large television monitor with a touchscreen overlay. We had this custom program written for this project, and it's a collage of multiple images, and when you tap on any of those images, it will expand and a quote appears, again, to inspire the writer on whatever project there might be working on.
This is so inspirational. In fact, I think the guy would just plagiarize all these quotes and never end up doing anything.
And they're great photographs too.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. And it is so tastefully done. The floor looks like what is it? A wood?
It's walnut.
It's
the floor was
rich.
unfinished. It was just plywood when we started. So we put this lovely white 5-inch plank walnut flooring, and it's actually pre-finished, engineered, another green product. And it has a great warranty, 25-year on the finish and lifetime for the structure of the wood. It's a very good product.
What is it? What is it? Oh, okay, great.
So if we wanted to, especially thinking of this table with the reclaimed red wood, that just really strikes my fancy. Do you have any ideas of where we could go to find some of that reclaimed wood if we wanted to have someone help us make a table?
Sure.
Or we are handy with wood.
Right. The company that did this for us is Exotic Wood Furniture out of New York, but they are people around that do this. We find reclaimed wood, but the people that did it for us is out of New York, and they have a wonderful selection of slabs.
Nice. It almost looks like you've used redwood in the side bathroom too. Is that for the pedestal holding the sink?
That one is actually walnut. It's a wood pedestal.
Yeah.
We wanted to kind of carry the theme of outdoors and trees into the powder room as well. That's by Stone Forest, and the bronze sink above it is also by Stone Forest.
And the irony of paper and trees, right?
Yes.
In the writer's retreat.
Exactly.
I'm getting it. It's all coming together.
This woman is a genius. I love her.
Everything is intended. Well, so if we wanted to have a writer's retreat, or maybe in everyday language, it's just our home office, right?
Right.
What would you say we should think of so that we can focus? We have a computer, we're trying to start our own business. We want to have a sense of serenity, but also creativity to get things done in our day. What should
you mentioned before about getting rid of clutter. That's really the first thing you should do. Just get rid of everything and put things in front of you that give you, that inspire you. It could be an object, could be a beautiful view from your window, a painting, a collection of books.
It'll be your business card.
And bacon.
There is usually one thing that somebody loves in their house, whether it's an object, it's a painting, a photograph, and you start with that object and you start on it. In our space, it was the views. We found the desk and the plaster fireplace surround. It kind of continued that way.
Awesome. The website is CynthiaBennett.com. Thank you so much, Goli Karimi, for giving us some great ideas in this
thank you for
area that
me.
could really, if it's not a writer's retreat in your own home, it could be your own home study or office or something like that to get creative things done. All right.
Absolutely.
Well,
Thank you.
we have more fun to share with you here at the Pasadena Showcase House, which is really one of the best.
Hold on, incoming.
There they come. The Blue
All right,
Angels
there
are flying over. Yeah, we're here on a beautiful day, bringing you what really is tasteful and exciting and creative, and we hope
I think it could be
inspiring.
the best of Southern California.
The best of Southern California
it's
for your
amazing.
home and garden. So make sure you check out the website, yourhomewizards.com, and our Facebook page, and you'll see for yourself how gorgeous these things are. And make sure you go to DunEdwards.com, because they're the ones that provided all the paint and the beautiful palette that, well, Eric, did you find your paint yet?
Cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe.
That's my front door.
I love the cantaloupe.
I'm doing it.
And what were some of the other colors? It's right behind your computer over
boy,
there.
they're
What were
all
some of
over
the
the
other ones?
place. Yeah, you got
It was
your
Arabian red,
caramel bar.
ripe plum. I mean, you
You've
can
got
find
your-
those colors at DunEdwards.com, and you can make sure you have the palette that makes your home feel like a showcase. All right, more fun continues. Home Wizards, as we love to improve your home and improve your life. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole.
We're going to dance. We're going to dance. We're going to dance and have some fun.
We were talking about the great paint choices, the perfect palette that you can get because of Dunn Edwards Paints. It's been a long-standing tradition where they provide all the paint and all the great colored choices at the Pasadena Showcase House. But now you too can have it. And all you do is you go to DunnEdwards.com, and it's a great website to decide like what's the right finish, how do I choose the perfect color. They have the perfect palette collection with 1,696 paint colors from dreamy blue to striking red. So go to Dunn Edwards, your neighborhood paint store, and let them help you add a little color to your own showcase home. And now through August 31st, you go to Dunn Edwards with your showcase bookmark coupon, and you get one free 8-ounce perfect palette sampler. The perfect amount to see exactly how a color will look just before you paint. Restrictions apply. See store for details, and for more locations, go to DunnEdwards.com, DunnEdwards.com. Welcome back. You're listening to Home Wizards, where we love to help improve your home and improve your life.
You know, I am excited about this next segment that we're doing because I've always wanted a library. In my own home. Yeah,
Well,
books. How do you make it feel like it's an enveloping environment that's cozy yet at the same time functional? I wonder. You know.
Well, I think that our guy here knows. Phil Vonk is his name. He worked his magic on one of the many rooms in this house known as the Pasadena Showcase House. Why is it a showcase house? Well, it's a house that's not your everyday house. It happens to be a classic Spanish-style California lifestyle home that dates to the 20s. But it's a tradition that has been going on for, more than 45 years or so in Southern California.
And for a great cause, I might
It's a
remind
great cause to raise money to bring musical instruments to kids.
That's right.
And the money is raised by the ticket sales. But what happens is these designers from all over California are chosen to attack one corner of this.
They swarm like bees.
And they audition, if you will, kind of
Yep.
like a reality show. And then they have to quickly come up with their vision, and then over 3 months' time, it all takes place. And then it's open to the public, and then also for us to broadcast from and to share it with you so that we can all visualize some great ideas. So,
Right.
Phil Vonk, great to have you.
Good morning.
So talk
Hi,
about,
Morning.
did you want the family library to be your space when you came to the Showcase House for the first time months and months ago?
Actually, no. I put in for the kitchen because I mostly do kitchens and bathrooms. This is the first year that I've been in Showcase that I haven't done a kitchen or a bathroom.
Okay.
So they gave me the family library, and it was kind of like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Because there's this other beautiful library in here, and you're like, how do you top that?
Right.
Well, and how do you fit a garbage disposal in a library is what I always wanted to know.
So I was kind of like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do here? And
Well, it was a challenge then, right?
Yes, it was. So we just paid attention to what the room is actually used for, which is like a study for the boys, also for activities.
Like games and things?
Yeah, games. Wrapping gifts, just projects.
Oh, great.
Or,
well, we all need that. So it was a good instrument for all us to learn from what you came up with.
Yes, it was it ended up being, for me,
best ever.
Yeah, because the ceilings, the beams and the ceilings in this room are just spectacular. It brings such a warmth to the room. And so it just ended up being such a blessing to get this room.
So where did you start? So you walk in, you see the space. What inspires you? How do you do that?
Well, I walked in. The room has two sections to it because it has two different ceilings, and so immediately I thought of two. We're going to have two areas in the room. Being a cabinet maker, that's what we do. We manufacture cabinetry right here in Chino, California, and so I, of course, looked at that. I wanted to put some kind of a entertainment center in, and
it looks like it's Cinnabar.
Yeah, that cabinet, everybody loves that cabinet. What it is, it's a tribute to the home because the home is called the House of Doors. So we specially designed this door, and it's all over the cabinet. And then I chose that Arabian red that's in the Dunn Edwards palette because there's so much color in this home, and that's what was so fun about this room.
It's scrumptious, isn't it? It looks like it has a glaze, like almost a golden metallic glaze or rub on it.
Yeah, how we did that is we custom. I drew up the cabinets.
Here comes the secrets.
Yeah, my Indian tricks.
Hold on, just look around. Don't make sure no one's listening.
These are my Indian tricks. It's a maple cabinet, and we did area clearance on the door, and then added all the moldings and the carvings in. Then we primered it with a butter pecan primer. And then we put the base coat of the Arabian red. And then when you do the rub off, then that pecan comes through, including you go down to the wood, and then after that you put your glazes on, and
Gorgeous.
It stains the wood, and then there's highlighting, so every detail is pinstriped.
Okay, so wait, so by rub you mean you're sanding off one of the coats? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, you're sanding right through the Arabian red.
To the butter.
You're exposing the butter and the raw wood, so when you come back and put your glazes on, then it stains
Amazing.
the wood, and of course it antiques the piece.
I was going to say, it looks like an antique. It looks like something that you'd see from years and years ago, centuries ago almost, huh?
Yes. One of the greatest compliments we've been getting in this room is that people walk in and go, has that always been there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And for me, that's one of the greatest compliments, because when we make cabinetry, it could be so new looking.
Right.
But the trick is to make it look like
Blend.
it was always there.
Sure, part of your fabric, part of your life. And is this a place then where we're storing books? Is that the purpose of this, or what is this vessel for?
Well, it was that one cabinet was designed to hold a 55-inch flat screen TV and an audio
Oh,
system.
thank goodness we got a TV in there.
Yeah, right now the cabinet's set up for storage. Now in the other parts of the room, we put in this twin desk so that they could still have the boys sit down and study. And we put these beautiful bookcases in. And so that's where all the books are. And in front of that, we put a table back there so we could still sit there and play board games, activities, wrap a gift. We also put a dry bar in there to be able to have drinks. And there's a little refrigerator.
I hate to tell you, with a 55-inch TV and a dry bar, there's nobody going to be studying in that room.
Yeah, especially if you're our age. That's right.
That's right.
We ended up I had these furnishings made for this room because I really wanted the room to just be so inviting and comfortable, where it just hugs you.
Uh-huh.
So we put these oversized chairs in there, which is exactly what you're talking about,
Right.
and you would just love it.
Yeah.
And it's just so inviting. Those things will just hug you.
And what color are the chairs?
The chairs are like a beige color,
Mm-hmm.
and they have this beautiful fabric on it that kind of inspired the whole room. We found this fabric that had all of these colors and these Spanish tiles that are all around the home.
The blues, the reds.
Yeah, so
the
I
golds.
have reds, golds. I have
The
a
turquoise.
sage color.
Sage,
I
yeah.
have there's so many colors in that room. Chocolate.
Uh-huh.
So it was just such a fun room to do because there's so much color.
So what about the wall? Because now that you have this really, what is the focal point, this beautiful piece of cabinetry that you've so beautifully rubbed off to create the red on the butter gold, the layered antique look. What's the wall?
The perfect contrast, I thought, to that was in our palette from Dunn Edwards, and it's a color called Adobe. So it's like a gold color.
It looks like caramel to me.
Yeah, it ended up being perfect, and it has just a great feeling to the room. It just makes it very cozy.
So the red with the kind of golden feels nice, very soothing.
Yes.
So now you're no longer a kitchen designer. You've decided to go completely libraries, right?
Yeah, well, I've always done kitchens and bathrooms.
Yeah.
That's our specialty. But
Right.
of course, as a cabinet maker, we do cabinetry for the whole home.
Sure.
So this room was a great opportunity for us to show our other stuff that we do. We do a lot of libraries with box beam ceilings and paneled walls and all this fancy stuff. But it's not always that opportunity in a showcase that you get to do that.
So what is your website so people can see this and find you?
The website is www.dchristian.com. And it's so dchristian. And that's, by the way, that's my boys. I named my company after my boys. It's David and Christian. And it's kind of a different name, but I'm real proud of us and our company.
Well, we're proud of you. It's beautiful. So thank you for sharing your family library. It's gorgeous.
There's one more thing I wanted to really plug in here, and it's the wood floor. When we removed the old cabinets, and it had like these blue countertops all the way around. So when we removed those in the cabinets, the floors were really damaged. And it also had this inset carpet set in there, and it was kind of off-center. So what happened is we had to completely restore the floors.
Amazing.
And we took that design of that red cabinet, the door there, and put custom inlays in that floor.
Wow.
And it is spectacular.
Yeah, it is beautiful. Check it out.
We're going to put the pictures on the website. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Phil. At
Thanks,
No problem. Thank you for having me.
yourhomewizards.com. So what's your takeaway, Eric Stromer?
My takeaway is come get inspired. If you can't make it, go to the website, yourhomewizards.com, to see these beautiful images.
And where'd you do the palette? The palette,
I
you're
took
hiding
it's
it
in
from
my,
me.
I stole it. It's in my bag.
All right.
So
Well,
there.
so if you go to doneedwards.com, you'll see all of these colors, the Arabian red and this beautiful caramel that we're speaking of, and these blues and greens. So many options.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with us. We hope that you've been inspired. There's so many fun things you can do to improve your home and improve your life. And until next time, remember this. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole, the key is under the mat. Bye-bye, everybody.
And I never felt this way before. And I swear.
All right, Eric, I showed you the roses just moments ago.
You know what? They're better than mine. They look better. They're greener.
not.
They're healthier.
They're
Yes,
not.
they are.
No, come on.
You know they are.
We're friends.
We are.
We're
But
givers.
you keep rubbing it in my face.
I'm not.
Yes,
I'm
you do.
encouraging you to love roses, and I'm encouraging you listening now that it's so easy when you have this Bare Advanced product. And here's the deal. I'm still learning as a gardener too.
Right.
I make mistakes. I kill plants. But the thing is, not intentionally.
No.
But the thing is, this Bare Advanced all-in-one rose care product. I mean, it really does make it. It makes you a genius.
Yeah, and I love the granules.
And you got it,
and
didn't
I did.
you?
I got it, and I
so
used
all you
it.
do is you get these granules, Bare Advanced all-in-one rose and flower care. You can get the liquid, but I prefer the granule. You put a little cup in there at the base of the rose,
You
the
water
rose
it,
bush. You water it.
it
Done.
goes right into the soil.
And the blooms are just like enormous.
Then you have Cindy-like roses.
Well, you
not
have
wilty
Eric
ones.
No, you have Tournament of Roses. So check it out. Go to BareAdvance.com. Better science, better results in the blue bottle, BareAdvance.com.